I still remember the exact moment my life unraveled. It was supposed to be a happy occasion, the kind that couples cherish and talk about for years. But in just a few minutes, everything I thought I knew about my wife, our marriage, and the life we were building came crashing down around me. We had been married for 6 years, a lifetime in some ways, the blink of an eye in others. Anna and I had met in college, and she had been everything I wanted, kind, intelligent, beautiful, in a way that turned heads without her even trying. Everyone said we were the perfect couple, a love story right out of a romance movie. I believed it too. God, I'd been such a fool. It was on a Sunday morning when Anna burst into our living room, tears streaming down her face, a smile so wide it almost split her cheeks. I was in my usual spot, lounging on the couch with a cup of coffee, a newspaper half open in my lap, the kind of lazy morning you take for granted until they're gone forever. "James," she said breathlessly, her voice shaking with emotion. "James, I'm pregnant." I froze. At first I was stunned, then elated. I stood and pulled her into my arms, laughing as I spun her around the room. For months we had been trying. She'd cried on my shoulder more times than I could count when the pregnancy tests kept coming back negative. And now finally, she was carrying our child, the baby we both wanted so badly. Or so I thought. "We're going to be parents," I whispered into her hair, my heart swelling with joy. Her tears flowed harder. "I'm so happy, James. You have no idea how much this means to me." I believed her. I believed every word she said. And for the rest of the day I couldn't stop smiling. I cooked her favorite dinner, lasagna with garlic bread. I poured her sparkling water in a wine glass, pretending it was champagne. We celebrated quietly, just the two of us. It was one of the happiest days of my life. But that night was when the cracks began to show. Anna fell asleep early, curled up beside me in bed. Couldn't sleep. I was too excited, already planning for the future. Names, nurseries, family trips. I don't even remember what made me do it, but I picked up her phone. It was on her nightstand, screen down. Anna wasn't the kind of person to keep secrets, and I wasn't the kind of man to pry. But something about the way she'd cried, that overwhelming emotion, something hadn't felt right. I know how this makes me sound, like one of those insecure husbands who can't trust his wife. I'd never checked her phone before, but that night I had a feeling I couldn't shake. The phone wasn't locked. I swiped up, and the last message she'd received appeared in a small notification bubble at the top of the screen. A single line that changed everything. "Does he know it's not his?" My stomach dropped. For a moment, I thought I was hallucinating. My vision blurred. My ears buzzed. My entire body went cold, like someone had dumped a bucket of ice water over me. Slowly, I opened her texts. The message was from a contact saved as Jake. I didn't know a Jake, and judging by the dozens of messages they'd exchanged over the last few months, I wished I never had. I scrolled through everything, the flirty texts, the inside jokes, the plans to meet up when I was at work. And then there were the pictures. My wife, my Anna, in hotel rooms with a man I'd never seen before, smiling, laughing, in his arms. My hands shook as I put the phone down. I glanced over at Anna, sleeping peacefully beside me, oblivious to the hurricane raging inside me. My jaw clenched, and my teeth ached from the pressure. I felt sick, betrayed, and then something else. Determined. I knew I couldn't confront her yet. Not until I had proof. Solid, undeniable proof. If she was carrying another man's child, she wasn't going to lie her way out of it. Not this time. Over the next week, I played the part of the doting husband. I smiled when she talked about baby names, nodded when she asked about nursery ideas. But while Anna was busy picking out prenatal vitamins, I was busy doing something else. Hiring a private investigator. His name was Ron, a gruff guy in his 50s who looked like he'd seen it all. When I showed him the texts and pictures, he shook his head. "You deserve better than this," he muttered. "I'll find out everything. Don't worry." Took less than a week. Ron handed me the file on a Tuesday evening. I sat alone in my car, parked outside a strip mall, and flipped through the photos and reports. Anna had been seeing Jake for over a year. A year. They'd met at her gym. He was a personal trainer. tall, tan, and muscular in a way I'd never been. I hated him immediately, but then I saw the kicker, something I never expected. Jake wasn't just some random guy. He was married. I stared at the picture of him and his wife. Her name was Emily. They had 2 kids, a little boy and girl. Perfect little family. I closed the file and gripped the steering wheel so hard. My knuckles turned white. Anna had ruined my life. Now it was my turn. The plan came together slowly, carefully. I wasn't about to let emotions get the better of me. I reached out to Emily first. I wasn't sure how to approach her, so I sent an anonymous email with the evidence attached. I told her I was sorry, that I knew this would hurt, but she deserved to know the truth. She responded the next day. Her message was short, but I could feel the devastation in her words. "Thank you. I don't know what to say. He's dead to me. Good." Next, I waited for the perfect moment to confront Anna. Came on a Friday evening. She had just come home from a doctor's appointment. I'd made dinner, steak and potatoes. Her favorite. She sat across from me at the table, happily chatting about the ultrasound she'd scheduled for next week. "Anna," I said quietly, cutting her off mid-sentence. "Who's Jake?" The color drained from her face so quickly, I thought she might faint. Her fork clattered to the plate. "What?" she whispered. "Jake," I repeated, my voice calm and measured. "You know, the guy you've been screwing behind my back for over a year." Her lip trembled. "James, I don't know what you're talking about." "Don't lie to me, Anna," I snapped. "I've seen the texts, the pictures. You're carrying his baby, aren't you?" Tears filled her eyes. No, James, it's not like that." I laughed bitterly. "Not like that? Tell me, how exactly is it then? Because from where I'm sitting, you've destroyed our marriage for some sleazebag who's cheating on his own wife." She sobbed, collapsing forward onto the table. "I'm sorry, James. I made a mistake. I love you. I swear I do. Please forgive me." I shook my head slowly. "No, you don't get to beg for forgiveness. Not after this." I stood and pulled an envelope from my pocket, tossing it onto the table. "You know what this is? It's a paternity test. The results came in yesterday. That baby isn't mine." Her scream echoed through the house, raw and full of despair. She clawed at the envelope, ripping it open with shaking hands. When she saw the result, 0% of probability of paternity, she crumbled to the floor, sobbing uncontrollably. I didn't feel pity. Not anymore. "Oh, and one more thing," I said, my voice cold. "Emily knows. Jake's wife, she's divorcing him. Looks like you won't be playing happy little family with your gym buddy after all." Anna stared up at me, her face streaked with mascara and tears. "You ruined everything," she choked out. I smiled. "No, Anna, you did." With that, I turned and walked out the door. I didn't look back. The divorce was quick. Anna didn't fight for anything. She couldn't. Her guilt ate her alive. She moved in with her parents, and I heard later that Jake refused to leave his wife. The last I heard, Anna was raising her baby alone. As for me, I moved on. It wasn't easy, but day by day, the pain dulled. I'd been broken but not beaten, and in the end, I realized something important. Sometimes, revenge isn't about hurting the person who hurt you. It's about watching them destroy themselves, and that, I think, is exactly what Anna did.